Critics have accused the media of making Donald Trump, who surged to the top of the polls while insulting everyone from Mexicans to the disabled to, well, the media. But following Trump's suggestion that the U.S. bar Muslims from entering the U.S., that relationship may have changed. Adam has more.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
Like a host of provocative comments he's made before, those remarks from Donald Trump yielded an avalanche of coverage. But instead of just reporting, this time the press pushed back in force.
We're going to reject the promise of America and ban an entire religion.
You might expect that from Chris Cuomo, but Trump was also strongly condemned by journalists known for playing it straight.
Trump's statement, even in this season of extremes, is a dangerous proposal that overrides history, the law, and the foundation of America itself.
The country is in a panic. There's demagoguery. This is really not the country that I know.
The pushback suggests a growing fear that Trump might actually win. If so, all that criticism could be counterproductive.
Trump knows exactly what he's doing. After his comments, he appeared today on 3 major morning shows.
And then there's the possible impact on the press.
The danger here is that we become collateral damage because people feel like we are so invested in taking out this candidate who happens to be Republican frontrunner.
But with a one-of-a-kind candidate like Trump, it's hard to know what the rules should be.
Adam, do you agree with Howie Kurtz that the media is invested in taking him down? Because there's also been, the media's gotten a huge lift off of him. All those morning shows, the Sunday morning shows, they allow him to call in, which, by the way, finally some of them are saying no more of that, like Chuck Todd from Meet the Press. But they're using him to build their ratings.
And Les Moonves, the head of CBS, was recently caught saying something like, keep it up, Donald Trump. You've been great for business. Keep it coming. I think there's an ambivalent relationship. I know early on people were saying, the press, the press is giving him too much attention. They're making him. I don't think this is the time to try to pull back on that by paying less attention to him. We're now at the stage where the whole Republican establishment, everyone from Dick Cheney to Mitt Romney to Paul Ryan, is saying what he's doing is dangerous, un-American, unconstitutional. You got to cover that. There's no way to pull back now.
Well, you have to cover it, but there is a problem with the constant promotion of his appearances from Trump Tower or his phone calls from the Trump mobile or the Trump airplane, because what the networks are giving him amounts to millions of dollars worth of free advertising. So many of the candidates have been spending millions of dollars. I think I saw a figure like $76 million by the candidates in advertising. So far, Trump has spent a few $100,000 because he doesn't need to spend money because he's getting all this free publicity.
The press is trying to take him down, but it doesn't work because they're trying to take him down by reporting truthfully on statements that he's made that his base thinks are just great. So therefore, it's completely counterproductive. Nevertheless, I think the media has to keep at least trying to do this. I don't think that the danger is that this guy's going to get elected. He still only has 1/3 of one party. I think the danger is that what he's doing at this point is very close to incitement. And this could lead to some pretty bad stuff going on out there. He doesn't seem to realize his responsibility as a public figure, unfortunately, or he doesn't care.
It's not about leading to. It already happened early on, if you recall, his first speech, and then 2 men right here in Boston were attacked on the street, and that was a direct result of being inspired by his words. Now, you can argue about whether or not that's for real or whatever, but let me get back to Howie Kurtz, because I do think Howie Kurtz has a point. I think there ought to be people who are opinion journalists who make the statement that they want to make, whatever it may be. This is unconstitutional, he's horrible, whatever, in the context of a fact-based opinion. But I think it is a problem when straight journalists who are reporting as they normally do start sort of whacking him on the head, no matter how much they may disagree with what he is saying or find it offensive. I think that's a problem.
It's certainly a stretch, and one that we haven't seen. So, Joanna, this week you wrote, actually, that you think networks, I laughed when I read it, should start disinviting him to the debates. Well, as you know, I think CNN got maybe 24 million viewers at the last Republican debate. It did. The one scheduled for this Tuesday will probably bring in double that.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not going to disinvite him.
Of course not. And there's also, you know, the debates are a little bit different, I have to concede, than the talk shows and the call-ins. I mean, a debate is a debate, although I do think he, with the game that he's playing and his hurling insults, I think he brings down the rhetoric and he brings down those debates. He's not good for the civic process. But yes, he is very good for ratings, and everyone has been raking it in on his behalf. So it's been this nice symbiotic relationship for a while. Now, all of a sudden, I think you're right. The news executives are saying, oh, wait a minute, what have we created?
Yeah,
but you can't put that back in the box.
You know, one thing that has happened this week that I think we can all applaud is that the Huffington Post has finally dropped its ridiculous decision to relegate Trump to the entertainment section of the site. Arianna Huffington put up a statement the other day saying that Trump's statement about Muslims was such that he has to be covered as a news story now.
Yeah, they held on to that thing for way too long.
Absolutely.
I mean, almost 6 months. It wasn't right.